Welcome back, 5 Aces.
Battle control initialized.
Hey people, 5 Aces here. It is the holiday season, it is a Monday morning, and it is therefore by extension also playoff season right now. So, we've got the second leg of the playoffs after Ganon and Goat have battled it out in a very one-sided fashion last week. This is going to be hopefully a closer series, more close to the chest. And the players in question, the second leg of the playoffs, is going to consist of, in the bottom left, spawning in as the British forces, Mr. Morkel, and is going to be meeting up head-to-head, toe-to-toe, mano-a-mano, with Mr. ILikeMen in the top right, spawning as Russia. Already opening up with 2 Grenadiers, so probably... where has he routed them? Okay, he's going... That's kind of risky, because I would honestly go for the middle first. If I were in their shoes, if I were to open up with a double refinery meta build, I'd probably be going for the middle because it's just free value in the comm center, gives you so much line of sight. And then from there you can always decide which route to take, whether you're gonna take the eastern Derrick or the northern one. So yeah, kind of a 50-50 coin flip, but seems to be paying off. Oh, also splitting up his grenadiers is ILikeMen. So ILikeMen has had a really good track record, except against Goat as far as I'm aware. Okay. There's gonna be not enough forces to defend right now. Gonna result in a lot of damage on the power plant. He's trying for some hit and run. That was not enough. It's not gonna kick him into low power. No. 65. One more grenade would have done. Alright. Escapes to fight another day. This Grenadier might still be waiting in the wings. Double refinery build for both. It's just the standard. It's just so much... The reason is not because it scales better, it doesn't, but the reason is that it actually provides it with so much pressure. And the meta has all evolved into being much about pressure. The more pressure you can exert, the freer you can take your backline expansions, the more freely you can choose your positioning, the more freely you can get your units into position. So this is kind of why in the top tier of the ladder, War Factory openers have become kind of rare. Oh, we're seeing a lot of shift-queued movement points from the Harvester there. Yeah, he did that for both his Harvesters, that's pretty cool. So ILikeMen getting a nice field advantage by simply grabbing the comm center, gaining some intel. So far, no big blows have been traded just yet. This is gonna be like the first actual tangible in-game benefit here for ILikeMen. He's gonna have access to the comm center. But yeah, I'm just coming back from a 5-day streaming marathon for OpenRA. I haven't been streaming in ages, and then this week my girlfriend and kids were not present because they were taking a vacation at my in-laws. So I had a week's time to stream OpenRA, which was pretty cool. Had some really good games, also a really nice look at the latest iteration of Romanov's Vengeance. Ooh, okay, that's big. That's big. The Ranger from Morkel not only did come out first because Soviet with the APC just have a longer build time, but it also survived. Survives that little scuffle. ILikeMen retreating to the safety of the communications center. This is very risky. He can maybe shave off a rocket hero there. Ooh, doesn't get one, and the heal just in time. Also, medics have kind of found their way into the meta. They're a good counter to flag trucks, they always have been. But now, yeah, they're starting to see a lot of resurgence. Which is cool, I like the unit. So 4 Harvesters here. How many do we have for Morkel? Yeah, same. That's just a stock standard build here. 5th Harvester is gonna come online, Service Depot. Okay, the Service Depot is very delayed for ILikeMen, 20 seconds behind. There's already more racks being pumped out by Morkel. So definitely, despite him losing the field advantage there, he has an edge in terms of the tech timing. That just goes to show how close the skill level is. That even just the iteration or just the addition of one extra building of like 10 seconds is gonna decide the game sometimes. Oh, nice. Find some snipes on rocket soldiers, that's always juicy. Flame Tower being pulled as well and immediately sold off. Yeah, he has seen that too. Infantry production has been stopped for a short moment there. So good value being gained out of the Ranger. And the first MCV, as I said, 20 seconds earlier. Which is gonna be a big deal. Morkel can already go into medium tank production, doesn't have to concern himself with the MCV timing anymore. So he's gonna definitely find a timing window where he outnumbers the heavy tanks 2x1. Which is going to be a very vulnerable timing, but with the forward position here from ILikeMen, I think his reinforcements are going to stream in just in time. Unless Morkel just goes for an all-out assault here. There's too many rockets. So yeah, Ranger just looking, prodding and prying, trying to pick off some scouts. Oh, did miss this one. Oh, that was a bit too deep. Trades it off for the comm center here. Not sure if that was the right call. I would have loved to see the Ranger being preserved because they don't really scale in terms of the damage, but they scale in terms of utility. If you maintain your Ranger until the mid game or late game even, you can basically scan an entire sector with that. It's like, yeah, it's just fulfilling its scouting role very well. ILikeMen is splitting off a part of his army, going for the right-hand flank, doesn't want to get intercepted there. And only now is his second heavy tank coming online. That just goes to show how his timing has been delayed, because the fourth medium is already online for Morkel. Morkel is, however, despite his field advantage, playing it very, very safe. Gotta say. Nice hit and run here on the Ranger. Doesn't take too much damage. He rebuilt it. I love that choice. It's only 600. Almost as much as a medium tank, but it provides it with so much utility unless you lose it. As you can see, he just immediately spots that there's gonna be an attack headed his way. Oh, ILikeMen is feeling very confident here. Thinks that he can. He's getting pincered. Flank on the right-hand side. We're gonna keep tabs on that as well. Ranger is falling prey to this aggravated assault, but more reinforcement streaming in. There is currently. Oh, there's no build radius here. So this forward Soviet barracks is very exposed. He can't build a flame tower in front of it. Heavy tanks not being donated over, he's compacting his position. Morkel going in, but on the right hand side, he's okay. He's got enough to defend this, yeah. Not a single point of damage being taken by Morkel. It's looking quite good for him. He is disposed of the barracks. He's now going to kill the flame tower as well. Tesla Quill popping up, and that's probably a bit too much. Trading off for as much value as he can, but with the advent of the heavy tank, that's a cleanup. Oh wow, Morkel managed to find his way into the unprotected Conyard there. There's just nothing there yet. Pushes it back. Well, at least he can kill a power plant and take the position for himself. ILikeMen is trying again, this time with a backline assault. Alright. There is a lot of value stacked here. Jeez, 5 harvesters. 4 more. So 9 harvesters. Morkel has crazy economy for the time being until it's harvested out at least. Okay, this has been spotted as well. So all he needs to do is send his forces back. Relatively strong force. And also an expansion being deployed by Morkel. Relatively compact forces here. The harvester herd are migrating. ILikeMen's heavy tanks survive. That's such a big deal. Needs to patch them up ASAP. As long as those guys survive, there's hope. Oh, he misses the flank. He misses the flank. That's not too scary though. Only 2 rockets, 1 heavy tank. Yeah. You can stall for time with pillboxes. Okay, let's see. I think the army graph, despite everything, might actually be favoring ILikeMen right now. Yep. Just barely. Just by like 2k. He's trying so hard to find the flank. His engineer survived. Morkel could go for some backline action. Oh, ILikeMen has a double Derrick advantage, so that's something. At least something there. Those heavies are probably trying to find their way into the eco lines. Morkel should react in time, yeah. Easily able to react in time. Is now having access to the double mine as well. As does ILikeMen. So the eco, after all that's said and done, is quite even. Oof, those harvesters. Splitting off those individual tank detachments is gonna net him a harvester kill here. That's the first big blow here. I think that's... yeah, it's the first econ kill. Nice. Also now streaming in more forces is ILikeMen. Still has the oil derrick. Also has killed an engineer and a tank waiting in the wings. If he waits long enough, he can pull them apart. But Morkel has the radar dome. Okay. So the first to tech here. This is gonna take a while to kick in, but it's eventually gonna provide him with a lot of value. 10 harvesters still for Morkel. Are you serious? How? That is so econ heavy. He's trying again. This is such a fortified position. No way in hell you're gonna bust through here. That is a throw and a half. Uh-oh. That is a throw and a half. There are no rockets left in a composition. And ILikeMen's forces waltzing through the middle. There's barely anything stopping them. The radar didn't yet have time to come online. Hasn't really felt the impact of that just yet. And that one lonesome heavy tank. Tech center for Morkel. That is a surprising tech center to say the least. Lots of damage being taken by the Black Hawk. Oh no. Black Hawk down! And one more ore truck down to boot. Achieves a cleanup, but Morkel is under duress here, under heavy duress. Left hand side there is more where that one came from. Ooh. With a Yak you can escape that, but with a Black Hawk they're just too slow to escape the clutches of a rocket. My goodness, that one tank. Second harvester dead, third harvester soon to follow. Tanya's out now. Can she turn the tide? Tier 2 now? Ooh, tier 2 plus double airfield. Very spicy. The MCV doesn't go down yet. MCV is still alive for the time being. And there is no aircraft to finish the deal. Morkel's suffering hard after this. The V2s are starting to rain down. My goodness. 3 harvesters killed, 4th harvester probably being dived by the Yak. At some point he had 10 harvesters, and that one heavy tank made sure that that number was about to fall quite considerably. Power down, yeah. This tier 3 transition has not paid off for Morkel at all. It's looking a bit bleak. By the way, I'm gonna be casting the whole session in one go. Ooh, nasty hit. Tanya trying to save the day. Trying so hard to stall for time. Oh no, ref pad being blocked. Service depot pad being blocked. Pop, 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 pop. Tanya, yeah, cleaning up all the infantry before getting a tank shell to the hit. Man, radar dome under siege. MCV under siege. Double Yaks in the air. Just waiting for the MCV to undeploy. That is not a sustainable position here. Oh, Morkel got played with his tier 3 transition. Didn't pay off in the slightest. Tech center down, radar dome down, all the airfields down, or helipads down. He's going for an all-in on the middle, but it's been scouted and revealed by the Yak. Tesla tanks out. Now there's a tier 3 transition I can get behind. Oh, the Tesla tanks. I mean, for now, there's an army advantage for Morkel with the medium tanks. He's got so many of them at the time present. Can he go all in and take out a significant chunk of the base here? Because if he can rebuild on the back of this, he might still be in the game. Buckle up! Oh, that was a nasty hit. I think the V2s are gonna be sealing the deal. There's no way for him to get to the V2s. He's killing the war factory, so that's gonna buy him some more time. There was only one war factory online for ILikeMen. Oh, the splits are good, but not good enough. Man, the rocket launcher's taking so many chunks out of the army. No! Another MCV! Dead to rights. Ah. I mean, at least he can recover it. GG. He's calling it. Yeah, understandable. He lost his entire army trying to deal with this and didn't kill any econ. Man, tier 2 and tier 3, both those transitions didn't work out for Morkel at all. He was pushed at the exact right times. Alright. That's the 1-0 up for ILikeMen, and that's game 2 for us.
Battle control terminated. Battle control initialized.
The map of choice for game 2 is Sonora, and the factions have not been switched around. ILikeMen this time going for Ukraine, but Morkel sticking with Britain. So no Germany in the queue. I would like to see some chrono tanks here. Would be like, with Morkel's playstyle, they probably don't match too well, but still. Oh, this has been live casted. I see. The caution. He has been on stream, by the way. That was really nice getting his perspective in some of the past OpenRA streams this week. Alrighty, so Morkel is trying to snatch back a point here. Sonora is such a cutthroat map. I lost a game in 3 minutes, by the way, to Morkel. Morkel just rallied all his forces here, trying to contest my Derrick, and pathfinding made sure that my infantry would not ever be going there. And I just lost a game in 3 minutes straight. That is a RAGL. What a weird build. Oh! He gets the engineer, but crucially the oil derrick was captured just at the right time. What an awkward build for ILikeMen. I think he went double racks and sold one of them. Got a lot of technicians out of that one. How many technicians? You know the old joke, how many technicians does it take to operate the barracks? 6. 1 to do the heavy lifting and 5 others to run around with arms flailing. Oh my goodness. Yeah, there's that. So double ref, and Morkel is already, he's established his double ref, he's just gone standard build. I think maybe something went wrong in the build order for ILikeMen. Maybe just he misclicked on the barracks twice and then realized it and sold it. So he's now behind on the timing, like by 10 seconds, but that's kind of the story repeating itself. He did the same thing, or he also was 10 or 12 seconds behind last game. Makes me wonder whether it's deliberate. Whether he just wants those juicy technicians out from the rack cell. Okay. So rifle infantry rallied north. Ah, that's just a hospital. Look. If it's free real estate, sure, take it. But otherwise I wouldn't really bother. Especially as allies. As Soviets it has a little impact, because as allies you just get 1 or 2 medics and they patch up the entire army for free. And then they all die to a V2 shot anyway. It's kind of how this game works, because infantry don't usually have the highest life expectancy. And it's not fast food related. It is more rifle fire and artillery related. Okay, optimistic rifleman here. So yeah, everything has stabilized after this early game. We're seeing 17 seconds delayed is ILikeMen compared to Morkel's build. And in the harvester department as well. Yeah, as a direct consequence thereof. So he's gonna be behind. This time opting for a flak truck. He's also, I've noticed that both are playing it very safe with their infantry. Especially as far as the early game is concerned. No one wants to really take any risks. No one wants to expose their infantry too much. We found a snipe here. He's trying to intercept. It's hard to catch a ranger. It's way faster than the flak truck. And even if you catch it, you need to just basically hope and pray that there's no roads nearby and that the turn rate doesn't screw you over. Ranger turns faster as well. Rip. Ooh. Rip engineer. Ah, that's some damage at least. Double flag. Okay, so that's an interesting build. Not only is it good against infantry blobs, but it also has the added benefit of being usable as a flag, like as an MCV hunting pack. So you can use this to go very aggressive and find the MCV timing and hope for an MCV snipe. You can definitely make that happen. You just need to anticipate your opponent's movements and hope he doesn't send the army. Another ranger out for Morkel. We've seen this story repeated again. Man, he's playing so passively with his infantry. Okay. See, like here, for example, this would be a chance of sniping it. You basically would have to pull your flags close to the MCV and hope that they sustain the rifle fire long enough to kill it. But then against allies it's trickier because they can always, if it's too close to the base, they can recover the husk. Which is, by the way, something I'm hoping that is going to be implemented to Soviets as well, that the hijacker can do the same. That it can always also recapture husks, because it's just such a big part of gameplay that is kind of missing from the Soviet faction. Right, both establishing their expansions now. Really nice scattering of rifle scouts, but the ranger is going to have to say something about that. Gunning them down. Picking them off one by one like Pac-Man. Oh, is this going to be another ranger dead? You see, as long as it keeps moving, it takes it takes less damage. Ooh, okay. There are 3 medium tanks out already. The army woefully out of position from ILikeMen. Okay, this ain't gonna be fun. ILikeMen already re-rallying his forces. Yeah, there's a big chunk. Man, ILikeMen is going super aggressive with his secondary MCV there. I'm not sure if that's a good idea. He's trying probably to just camp with the Tesla and then book it with the MCV. Yeah, power down. Oh, unlucky. It has not been revealed. Are you kidding me? Just by 1 tile. So he lost a refinery, but no harvesters, crucially. I don't like this power plant at the front. This power plant is gonna get sniped, and you know it. I'm not sure why he built that at the front. Probably just a reactionary misclick. Army's converging, trying to save the MCV. Okay, so that's not half bad, but how do you stop Morkel from infiltrating both of your flanks? Oh my. Yeah, that's definitely been weird positional play from ILikeMen. This definitely could have been played out smart in a smarter way, and I have lost to both of these players 2-0, so who am I to comment, but the decision making here really strikes me as weird. Strikes me as a bit off. He's trying to base push the north now. He's also trying to get the main base down. Losing his main base though. That's 6 harvesters. Oh, clench your cheeks, it's gonna get a bit nasty. Both are gonna have their main bases traded off, it appears to be the case. War Factory being tackled, as well as the Coneyard, yeah. First Coneyard, then War Factory, then everything else. Interesting game. Complete base trade, it seems. But the economy for Morkel is still standing. He has to kill the pillbox, yeah. And now he has to kill the harvesters. If he doesn't kill the harvesters, then there's going to be a super strong base of operations still left for Morkel. He's still going to have lots of income able to produce here. And there is only 1 MCV left for ILikeMen, since his main base went down. And Morkel only has 1 MCV as well, but he's got all the expansions established that he hopes for, that he could ever hope for. So he's doing completely fine on that front. So overall, I like Morkel's position more in this game. He also has the War Factory up. Can only produce light vehicles, but here's the thing. This is the one situation where I prefer light tanks over anything else that comes out of the War Factory, because now they are powerful. They are good against wood-armored buildings such as power plants, barracks, and war refineries. They are decently fast, they are easily produced, and there are, like, everyone is just gonna fortify their one main base. So it's the best time for harvester hunting and for power plant hunting, refinery hunting is right now. Yeah, exactly. You just block. If he blocks now, he negates the income of 3 harvesters. Tries to tackle those infantry coming out of the barracks, rather. Super smart play here. Okay, the flak truck is going to be able to push this away, at least for a little. Nice micro. The flak truck cannot 3v1. It can 2v1, but 3v1 is a bit much. Man, ILikeMen has such a strong composition here. Mass infantry, but so many of them. So, complete trade-off. Both have lost their main bases. Importantly, there is a service depot out for Morkel, so he's gonna be back to heavy tank production in no time. Okay, can now go ahead and wipe the main base as well. Wow. ILikeMen has saved 3 harvesters. That's big. Yeah. Now going all-out destruction. and the base just evaporates. There is still a Derek standing for Morkel as well. Now, Morkel just needs to make... ILikeMen just needs to ensure he doesn't get flanked. Morkel, however, has an expansion out. He's floating hard. What's his econ? 13k versus being broke. Yeah, it's not looking good here for ILikeMen, is it? The entire army reacting. There's only one tank, but lots of infantry. Metric shit ton of infantry. Ooh, they have a tank being sacked here, probably. Yep, one Zook shot was enough. So it's gonna be long distance mining for Mr. ILikeMen. Morkel, all his expansions are intact. He's in a great position. Now expanding even to ILikeMen's original base as well. Despite him trading up, it doesn't matter. That's one of those situations where I'm quite sure he has traded very effectively. Yeah, 11k up in terms of trades. But it doesn't matter, because he's now down 4 harvesters and he's down 2 expansions. That is one of those games where it's like macro over micro, simply because he has just constricted his position so much. War Factory finally out for ILikeMen. That took a fortnight until that thing came online. Morkel going into his main base, not trying to be caught off guard, trying not to be caught off guard. The most exposed expansions would be here, but that's really hard to scout, especially Soviets. He sees everything, he knows what's coming his way. Preparing a wall of pillboxes like a happy pillbox wall. Oh, this is gonna get so nasty. Up to 4 rangers now, and I think he's producing rangers actually. Nice, the hit and run. Oh, that's so sweet. Already shaving off infantry. There is no way you're gonna breach this base. Ah, the drive-by! 3 rangers die, but it looked hilarious. Swag points. I mean, he just needs to retreat behind the pillboxes is all. I don't know why he was fighting outside of pillbox range. Into the meat grinder. That's probably a last-stage effort from ILikeMen. Man, this infantry cluster is getting decimated. Bottom side, with the pushing power of an APC, he managed to kill 1 pillbox, but that's about it. Yeah, time to call it. Curtains are falling, the wheels are coming off this particular bus. And that's game. I mean, if it were me, I would have called it, but apparently ILikeMen likes his position still well enough to stay. Yeah, he has no chance. Basically 4 mining harvesters. Ooh. Construction yard. Under siege, under siege. But surviving for the time being, and a collapse from the army. Bottom side, another dispatch going on eco hunt. That was kind of a low-tech game, but at the same rate, it's a base trade game. How can you be mad at that? Full-on base swap. ILikeMen doesn't know where he has to react first. Like, he has so many fires that he needs to put out right now. Where do you even start? Ore refinery down. Harvester down. Position constricted. Shoes wet. Spaghetti are shitty. Like, no. This is not coming together anymore. This is a complete rip moment. Spaghetti are soggy. Nope. Nope, nope. The harvesters have nowhere to go. Are you going into Army A or Army B? It's like, that's your options. Good night, sweet prince. GG. Constricted from all sides. He stayed a bit longer than he should have necessarily, but that's fine. Let's move on to game 3. That was a very interesting one.
Terminated. Battle control initialized.
And for game 3, we have decided that Shadow Fiend is the right place to play it out. I like the map decently enough. It's one of those where... It's one of those maps, you know, where you have to either expand horizontally or vertically. And if you make the wrong choice and you're behind 10 seconds, then your MCV timing is going to be messed up and your opponent is going to be there first and rip. But yeah. So in that case, it's very much because basically this expansion is something you'll always get. And this expansion is something you'll need to get. So you have a close expansion and you've got a remote expansion, and basically if you lose your remote expansion, if you lose access to that, you're done for. Because then your opponent can lock it down, and he has basically a 50% income spike over you. And the oil derricks, there's 5 of them, but they don't make up for all that, because even 5 oil derricks, that's like 2.5 harvesters. And they also don't survive past the mid-game usually. Oh, factions as well. Morkel's sticking with his guns here, and yeah, ILikeMen going for Soviets once more. Let's see whether we're gonna be opting for some parabombs. Strongest faction hands down, because it's the only, I've stated it time and again, I'm going to reiterate on that. Ukraine are the only faction whose faction special is impactful and comes online at tier 2. The other two that come online at tier 0 and tier 2 respectively are the British Spy, which is just a cheap Walmart pay 1 take 2 kind of deal on spies, and the French Fakes, which I've never seen do anything useful despite maybe distracting grenadiers in the early game. So yeah, definitely the best bang for buck support power are the parabombs of Ukraine. That's why, honestly, I can't fault people for favoring them in competitive games. There are other great faction specials and traits, but they are all locked behind tier 3. Chrono tanks, phase transport, Tesla tanks, demo truck. Which of course the demo truck has a special place in my heart. Alright, so as you can see, this is already lots of pressure on the Derrick. Morkel overcommitting though, not using the stop command efficiently, and thus the Derrick survives for the time being. Double ref, no big surprise, both on about the same timing this time around. Morkel is going to find a recapture, going to decap this Derrick for now. Ah, ILikeMen sent his engineer back. So what are the vehicles of choice going to be? An APC again for ILikeMen. Morkel has... Oh no, there's the Ranger. I thought it would have opted out of a light vehicle. But no, Ranger still in the hood. This hood car here. I really like it, zooming around the map. Rangers, especially on larger maps, like the larger the map, the better value you can get out of a Ranger. Your opponent, if they ever split their forces, the Ranger is going to pick them off. And if they ever compact their forces and concentrate them in one spot, the Ranger can gain intel on that, avoid them, and just take all the objectives in the meantime, with an engineer on board. So especially on large maps with lots of objectives, the Ranger is straight, hands down, the best vehicle, best light vehicle in the game. I would not mind a cost increase even. Is he blocking? I think that's blocked. Oh. Wait a sec, is he double blocking him? Holy shit! I've never seen this before. Oh, he doesn't get the capture, but he gets to retain his engineer. That is sick. That was really sick play from Morkel. Just double blocking, so the engineer was able to exfiltrate safely. That was sweet. This composition has a metric fuck ton of rockets in it. 10 rockets? No, it's 8, but still. 8 rockets at the 4-minute mark. That is is that a base bust? Like, compare this to the normal amount of rockets that ILikeMen has mustered. Around this stage of the game, I would usually have a 5 stack of rockets realistically. Jeez, he's going hard. I think this might actually be maybe a base bust attempt. Interesting. He's getting into position. I mean, if you go for a base bust attempt, why not go for a medium tank first? Is he sending his MCV in? No. MCV is just safely nestled here. Ouch, 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 ouch. If there ever was a base bust attempt, it has died now. With those, alongside those 1.5k assets or whatever that was. Ouch. So the Derrick count is 3/2. Morkel has a slight edge there. He's trying to look and scout for an MCV, but as we've stated previously, this is the horizontal. This is the vertical expansion for ILikeMen, and the vertical expansion now for Morkel as well. And I think that's just off the back of him seeing that that ILikeMen is expanded horizontally, vertically. Jeez, there we go. He's trying to collapse. I don't think this is gonna work. Morkel doesn't have enough forces, and there's gonna be a build radius. I think that's a bad call. He's also sending in rockets one at a time. Now splitting off his forces. Ooh, that's already a lot of value lost. Yeah. Not looking good here. 3k down. Uh-oh, move command. And this flank has been revealed. As such, he's pulling back, such as not to lose them. Yeah, it's not looking too good for Morkel thus far, isn't it? At least he has his expansion established. Ooh, there was something inside the APC. Probably, judging from the value, maybe like an engineer. Too much armor. Too much armor in the mix. Ooh, ouch. And the backup forces for Morkel streaming in a bit slower than anticipated. Thus, yeah, ILikeMen is able to comfortably take this fight to the enemy here. Now routing back after... the destroyed tab is even. Not what I was expecting, to be honest. But I guess there were just many rockets now in the composition for ILikeMen, so he lost a lot of rockets there. Okay, that's fair. And Morkel still has the advantage of the... no, wait, the Derricks are even now. 2 and 2, and the middle one died. 5 racks here. Helipad here for Morkel. Is the transition gonna work out better for him this time around? He's also flanking. There's only one Tesla coil thus far. So this is a very vulnerable expansion still. But the mainstay forces are going in, and... Ranger trying to be cute again. Oh, he still has the engineer inside the Ranger. Okay, so at least the Harvester has been forced off the line. And here with line of sight disadvantage, it looks like ILikeMen is losing this entire army completely for free. Ooh, nasty. Trying to commit into the Tesla coil. Not sure if that's the right call. Trying for some crushes as well. Oh, that's big. That is super big. That is both the refineries dead. Tesla coil also falling. So, long distance mining. Tanya has been... Oh my lord, he's rushed tier 3 again? Has the Madman done it? Has the Madman actually pulled off a successful tier 3 rush this time around? Tanya's on the line. She's, where did she get built here? Okay. Yeah, Tanya has arrived. But both have traded off their respective expansions, so it's kind of economically it's a wash. So let's rather focus on the army graph. That's completely dead even now. Cool. Ooh, singling out rocket soldiers. That is a good value proposition on the Black Hawk. Like the value balance is a very solid one. Routed back into the middle are the forces of ILikeMen, but they're not very scary for the time being. Morkel was trying for a flank, but his tanks have now been relegated. His tanks are being sent back home. Sees that this is just a little distraction. Tanya is being positioned in such a way that she can't be... Oh! Wreckage blocks the heavy tank from escaping as well. Nice. Veterancy 1 on her. This flank, though, this is a blind spot for Morkel. Ooh. This game I like a lot more now because it's just got more spice. Flak tracks are coming out. That's a necessary response to what's happening here. He should kill the flak truck. Look. Almost getting Tanya down. Oh, that's a nice hit, though. That's a very nice hit. Now the rockets are out. going for the Tesla coil immediately. Tanya is having a really good time thus far. Now getting sniped, yeah. But she definitely gained... She got a lot of value. At the end of the day, though, Ecoline's untouched. No Harvester has been lost from Morkel thus far. That's really nice. He's preserved them all. Haha! No landing zone. V2 taking the only helipad under siege. That's the only one. Needs to single out the rockets. 1... 2 more. There's only... Aww! You should have killed the rocket in the middle. 1, 2... Yeah, 2 rockets left. Easy to single out. And that is giving ILikeMen some much needed time to recuperate and recuperate his losses. Just get more units into position. And his dreaded tank once more. Ah, this is so annoying. I think Happy used to be very good at this, and yeah, ILikeMen also finding some really good value from his heavy tanks. Other than that, everything is looking relatively stable. Tier 3 for ILikeMen. Where are you gonna see a demo truck? No. MiGs. Oh my goodness, that is such a good choice. It can be countered by allies, because you can build mobile radar jammers. But they always have to be in position, and that's kind of hard. Tanya's back on the field here. Yeah, but this is so nasty. One MiG can take out a Harvester in a single pass. Or in a single ammo clip, let's put it that way, not in a single pass. Yeah, MiGs are just so much more impactful. As you can see here, MiGs just have way more of a field impact than like most of the allied tier 3. If he now rearms, goes back for another pass, kills another. Oh, there's another MiG out. Kills another Harvester. It just stacks up over time and forces your opponent into rebuilding Harvesters or building refineries. That's never what you want. Iron Curtain out to ILikeMen. It's looking so good for him. This game is shaping up to be everything he ever wanted out of Soviet tier 3. All-you-can-eat buffet of the juiciest tech units. MiG. Yeah, you see they don't take damage. If you micro them, they never have to take any damage whatsoever. Tiny though, with a really nice position. First Mammoth tank is out, reveals itself here. Ooh, Morkel is going hard. Tanya is not here. I'm not sure if that's the right choice. I mean, at least the Iron Curtain is not online just yet. So the Mammoth tank is basically gonna die for free here. Now, let loose the chain guns. Down go the forces, but that's most of the firepower expended. Okay. Okay, most of the units down for ILikeMen. So his MiG's on the back foot. If he presses stop command, that's a dead MiG. Ouch. One MiG remaining. Tanya is here. Finds some nice shots. Man, if Tanya goes in now and kills the tier 3, that would be such a big deal. On the bottom side, nothing much is happening, but there is a 6 stack of tanks waiting. Just waiting in the wings for the Harvesters. A bit of unattentiveness. Morkel is rerouting. I mean, if Mammoths if you let them get critical mass, this becomes a problem for any allied player. You then basically need so many things at once. You need a radar jammer to jam the missiles. You also need medium tanks to deal with them. It just gets really tough. Ouch. Is that... Oh, those are longbows. Those are not even Black Hawks, that's longbows. No, not like this. This ain't how you longbow. Parabombs. That's gonna be a big one. This is gonna wipe the entire infantry cluster off the field. Oh, nasty. After all that's said and done, though, can he still push? Right now it's looking like he still has a bit of gas left in the tank. He also, yeah, he allegedly has seen the missile silo, which he has. Man, what a brutal display. Longbows need to go back to rearm. That's his best choice now would be the longbows. Another mammoth tank coming out. Oh, Iron Curtain. Immediate retreat. He has waited long enough for the Iron Curtain to be effective. Yikes. This is brutal. Another 10 seconds of free reign. Yeah, chooses to pick down the rocket soldiers. Very nice. That's a bit ham. Yo, this is a very exposed... What was he doing with the mammoth tank there? He was staying way too long. The dwarves, they dug too deep in their greed. That was greedy. Tried to get more value from his Iron Curtain there. Too much. Oh, Tanya immediately biting the dust. Yep. Good night, Tanya. Was nice knowing her. This time with more medium tanks out and no critical mass. Nice. There is no critical mass on mammoths just yet. This time around, I think he can kill the war factory. This is such a cutthroat game, holy crap. This engagement has been going on forever. Never retreating even once. Oh, the MiGs are exposed on the airfield. Has to take off without rearming, so right now the MiGs are rendered useless. That's the only airfields, if he camps that, yeah. This MiG also empty. Not looking good in the ammo base. Longbows, on the other hand, are having a field day. Wow. What a cutthroat game. What a nice line of play from Morkel. He definitely needs to kill the missiles. He's got GPS up already? 17 minutes deep. Wow. One MiG falling prey here. That's a bit too much infantry. He needs Tanya back. Ooh, nasty. Nasty hits on the longbow. Keep in mind, yeah, Tanya's back. Keep in mind, right now, there are still no radar jammers in the composition. So, MiGs and Mammoths can still reign supreme. I think he's committing for the missile silo. Iron Curtain being fired, but the missile silo is down. Tanks are being split off, I really like that. Tanks choose to ignore the Mammoth tank, instead going on a harvester hunt. That's very smart. Tanya also routed to the north, and right now it's Morkel with full-on aggression, and basically ILikeMen in absolute defend mode. So he needs to use Harden to strengthen his protective shell. MiGs down. Harvester down. Ooh. I don't think the Mammoth tanks can save this. Two more Harvesters died. More Harvesters being forced off the line here. Longbows hunting for the MiG. Ooh. Morkel is in a great position now. Tanya blowing up some buildings as well. MiG falling. Harvesters forced off the line. Ooh, Morkel in an absolutely dominant position, and ILikeMen in disarray. Yeah, the longbows, like, they haven't been used to the fullest potential, to be honest, but they were good enough. They sniped some Tesla coils, got some MiGs out of the skies. And now that there is an immobile army, like, this army is scary, but immobile. Now it's time for Morkel to pull the left-right game. Always attack where the opposition isn't. That's the ore refinery down. Harvesters being pulled off the line, and Tanya's back with a little backup. Tesla coil being taken on the siege. Man, Morkel is not giving ILikeMen a break here. With the advent of the flak tracks, it appears to be the case that he is kind of not using his longbows anymore, because he's gonna just lose them anyway, so just lets them sit home. That's fine. It's fine, just uses them for scouting now. He can kill all those harvesters. Oh, that would be juicy. What's he doing? No! Please don't lose all your longbows there. MCV packing up, but the tanks are in front. They can easily get a head start here. Tanya can ravage through the entire tech tree. Oh, that's a big one. Is there still the bug in the game present where if you try to blow something up with Tanya and the Iron Curtains, it crashes? Did they get fixed? I'm not sure. Oh, say goodnight. Kiss your tech tree goodnight. Look at that. Tanya absolutely going to town. Ooh, she got a lot of value. On the rebound. All the longbows blowing their missiles on a failed force fire attempt. That's really bad. Extremely bad, if I might add. But there is still enough left. Still enough left for Morkel. Oh my goodness, does he have this? I think he's got this. Oh, this is a close series. This is very much not like the Ganon vs. Goat series. This is two players who are extremely close in skill level. Not that Ganon is a bad player, mind you, it's just that he hasn't focused on RA as much anymore. And as a result, just the competition got a leg up on him. Yeah, seriously, this is an awesome match. No more tech for ILikeMen whatsoever. He's kicked back into the Stone Age. The only thing he has going for him is one airfield and the parabombs soonish. Wait a sec. Are they ready? Yes, they are. So all he needs... Ooh. Oh, flag truck with the promotion. Promotions can give it a surprise speed boost, so it can sometimes even catch up to longbows. If it had reached Veterancy 2, it could have killed all the longbows. It's like this sudden bump of speed, like the speed boost. Immediately giving it value. Nice. Paradrop here on the backlines can kill the tech center. Let's go back to combat. Morkel slightly ahead by 20k, so that's more than just slightly. Yep, he's going for the tech center. But Morkel is completely aware of the situation, he's got this on lockdown. Now with a back tech to tier 0, or forced back transition into tier 0 for ILikeMen. I mean, really? I think longbows are not a good investment anymore because there's gonna be more and more flak trucks. And those don't match up very well. He's got critical mass. Instead what I would go for now is 2 or 3 more war factories and just produce mass mediums. Because the APCs don't stand toe-to-toe to that. And in the meantime, 5 longbows, they can just be sent on a harvester hunt. Kill all the harvesters. Be done with it. But this might be the last push anyway. ILikeMen is holding it well, but it's only a matter of time until he gets outclassed here. Simply by virtue of tech. No more meat shield left. Is Tanya still around here? Did he rebuild her somewhere? She might have died. Not sure. But I didn't hear her death scream. She's got a very, very pronounced death scream. Ah, there she is, okay. So she's just picking him down. Ah, there's a yak though. Circling in the skies. Free line of sight from the barracks. That's also nutty. 1v2 rocket launcher holding the line. It's not looking good for ILikeMen anymore. It hasn't been looking good for him for 10 minutes now, but he's been holding on valiantly. This might be his last hold. His base is dismantled, his eco is ravaged. He is on his last legs. GG, well played. Definitely. A great game here. Great display of force. Morkel just finding and exploiting the vulnerable underbelly, and also best tier 3 transition. Like, this is a tech rush gone right. Okay, that's gonna net us a game 4 with a 2-1 up for Morkel.
Battle control terminated. Battle control initialized.
And the stage is set for match number 4. This is going to be played out on Agita, or Agita, depending on how you pronounce it. This is a map with very few objectives. You basically have the 2 derricks in the middle. And those are easy to snipe, hard to hold. Reason being, you can fire over the cliffs with infantry. You can not really stand together and defend, stand united. You can always attack it from multiple different angles, but you cannot really defend it from up there. Like, this is the opposite of defender's advantage that you get over here. Can't bring infantry into position to utilize the line of sight. So yeah, Morkel again spawning as the Brits. He's chosen to stick with him throughout this entire best of 5 as it seems. And this is the first doggo I've seen throughout the entire series. Let's see how this one is gonna pan out. Doggo just inching its way forward. Now for a doggo there's always basically an expiration timer on how long can it be useful until the ranger comes online and it inevitably snipes it. It's kind of the law of the land, that's how it works. But yeah, so far, engineer capturing for both players, and Morkel went for an earlier engineer, so kind of greedy. But he still is going for lots more infantry. Ah, ILikeMen also selling off the kennel. That's kind of a big one. It refunds you, I think, 150, as far as I remember it costs 300. But it still sets you behind in the build queue by quite a bit. Again, a 12-second timer discrepancy. And that is not entirely to be explained by the kennel, because the kennel only takes, what, 5 or 6-ish seconds. I'm not entirely sure. I think maybe 6 seconds. So yeah, that's gonna be again a little advantage in terms of the timing for ILikeMen, for Morkel. Oh, this dog hasn't paid for itself just yet. All the forces for Morkel are back home. Now trying to defend. I'm not sure if that's a wise choice with the dog. So that's probably gonna be a snipe. If everything goes according to plan here. Ooh, doggo kiting back. He needs to press the S key. Not yet, not yet. Trying to reroute. At least he has sniped the Derrick. That's probably worth the couple rifles that are going to be shaved off here. Oh, bad pathing, bad pathing. Still, nothing big to come off it. Dog is being healed back up because the hospital has been captured. Now those hospitals, I've talked about this on stream before, they're not very impactful. Reason being is that they're at a junction in the game where you don't usually transition your army across. If you want to go for flanks, you would go like here or here, but you definitely never pass by here, so hospitals are not really good for vision. They just, for Soviets, they're kind of nice because they heal your units back up. For allies, you usually go medics anyway, so it's not a big deal for them. And unit lethality is so high in OpenRA that doesn't really change anything, or at least infantry lethality. So these early games, I swear, those players are playing it so safe in the early game. Like, no one wants to push their infantry to the limits. Everyone's just content sitting back. Engineer waiting in the wings, being brought into position by ILikeMen. This kind of reminds me of Happy, where he brings everything into position, basically in a surround of your base, outside of line of sight, and then goes ham. As soon as all the units are in position, all the pieces are in place, he just goes ham on your entire, on like 3 flanks at once. Again, a flak truck out for ILikeMen, just denying a couple of scouts. And the ranger not finding much value there. But neither is the flak truck. Like, if people play this passively, what do you expect realistically? This is gonna be a super passive early game, one way or another. 1 harvester discrepancy this time around. Only 4 harvesters for ILikeMen. Huh. What is that owed to? 5th harvester only coming online now, and MCV. Again, there is like... This time it's... Wow. This time it's a... The timing is actually terrible for ILikeMen this time around. Okay. So, Morkel's MCV is ready. And ILikeMen, I don't know, he's always fallen behind in the build order. Don't know what it is, maybe he's not using the hotkeys. Maybe he's not using the function keys. Oh. This flak truck has found the MCV. Can put a lot of damage into this vehicle. But I doubt it's gonna be enough for a kill. Even if he stays close enough. Yeah, no. Rifle infantry are gonna be enough to ward it off. But a significant beating. Also gonna result in some cash for repairs. Still, the expansion is established, and that's gonna... Yeah, the alarm bells are probably going off now in ILikeMen's base, because he's like, uh-oh, he's got an expansion out. My MCV has barely come online. Yeah, the timing just doesn't add up. That's now a second medium tank out for Morkel already. He's got way more pushing power at the time present. Trying to block. Okay, trying to negate the econ advantage that Morkel has preserved for himself there. That's nasty. Denies a couple seconds of mining. Ooh, is he gonna pull out? Yeah, pulls out on time. Neat. And here we've got the first concerted push, fortunately being scouted out. Whoa, that is an ambitious engineer. Are you serious? The dog has survived until now. That's kind of, well, due to the passive nature of the early game. Kind of not that surprising anymore. Expansion now out for ILikeMen, plus an instant eco transfer. Doggo scouts, pays with his life, but does spot the forces. That's big. No way, the engineer got in? Really? Ooh, the first medium falling prey to Zooks. That's never a good start. And the other mediums have been routed north. I think if he had just concentrated everything into a death ball, he would have had enough to kick ILikeMen's army. But the rally point was north, and thus he's scrambling. No way, he actually got the oil derrick. And there is no more engineer on the field for ILikeMen. Flag truck still waiting in the wings. Oh, this is nasty. The engineer gets away with it too. That is one hell of a confident engineer. Okay, recapture. Wait, I think Morkel can snipe over the ridge. I think ranger weapon has just enough range, yeah? Thank you, good sir. Wow. Great ranger thus far. Sniping a rocket on the way out as well. But now, there's 4 medium tanks. I think this is going to be a serious threat. Wow, ILikeMen forced to blow up his own oil derrick. Such as not to give over more cash advantages to Morkel. Yikes. Okay, that's gonna be it, but lots of rockets in very good positions, and the infantry from Morkel has just not arrived on time. Uh-oh. He's donated basically all of his tanks by now. Wow, that was a bad engagement. He just lost 3 tanks for nothing. Uh-oh. Scratch that. Make it 4 tanks. Yikes. Basically traded off his entire meat shield for absolutely nothing. Combat tab speaking for itself there. Ranger is still alive. He's gonna find the flank of the heavy tank. That has thus far been one of the biggest strengths of ILikeMen. Just always finding a flank with a tank somewhere in the eco lines. Kind of akin to Happy style, but this time it's been spotted. Nicely played from Morkel. Some more skirmishes going on around the map. Yeah, this one is gonna get denied immediately. There was an attempt. So, ILikeMen, wow, he moved out his original Conyard. He's going for a greedy-ass land grab. So, what he's doing there is basically saying, okay, you'll never attack me through the middle. I'm going to fortify north, I'm going to fortify west, and you'll never get to my main base. That is confidence. That also now means that if this goes on for much longer, then he's got his eco set up like in such a way that he's gonna be able to outscale, because he's owning both the central expansions. Everything else, like all the rest of the map is taken, but the central expansions are crucial, and they are right now in the claws of ILikeMen. So honestly, he just needs to play the long game. He just needs to wait, sit it out, and weather the storm, eventually outscale in terms of the econ. There's a big flank being prepared from Morkel. The move out from ILikeMen's army got spotted, but it's a double prong. Uh-oh. The army from Morkel was just about to move out here. Tesla Coil is doing a great job at chipping away at the tanks. And here is the 2-prong. Triple prong, oh my lord, he's going into the eco lines here as well. Wow. Oh, the crushes are gonna be sick though, because there is no room to dodge. As soon as there's no space or no empty tiles for dodges, crushes become so effective. But, crucially, he resets the War Factory queue because the service depot got sniped. So, the harvesters mostly got preserved. I think actually 1 harvester died here. That's okay. Oh, but that's the big one. The 3rd army splits off. That was such a great split push. The 3rd army splits off and gets the juicy expansion with 3 harvesters. Now there is a counter push, and it's been very successful as well. It also denied the double mine. Ooh, flamer shots raining in. That was really like traded blow for blow. This is not like the Ganon vs Goat series. This is just both people trading blows. Oh, the War Factory is getting low. I think the War Factory is gonna die, yeah. That's a big one. Oh, the V2 comes out though. Immediately takes a chunk-sized bite out of this army. And Morkel has lost one of his juiciest expansions there. There's a bit of mining denied from ILikeMen, and his War Factory queue has been reset, but... Oh, also he managed to snipe one more Harvester here with the tank. Pulls it back too. Yeah, so after the dust has settled, I think that's ILikeMen coming out slightly ahead despite losing his War Factory production. We're seeing the Black Hawks. They have come online. And he's got a compact army. Wow, okay, the flame towers are doing a number on the infantry. V2 barely not... V2 hammering home the point, barely missing though. And the army is back, got another Harvester. The second double mine expansion being denied. It's not looking good for Morkel. He's being compacted, he's been outpositioned 2 times now. Tank still waiting in the wings. He's basically compacted to 1 base. I mean, how does he plan on winning this? What's his game plan here? He can win on the rebound, is the one thing, because now he's got an army advantage. ILikeMen has traded lots of his army for enemy stationary assets and eco lines. So right now there's a distinct army advantage. Well, it's not as pronounced as I would have hoped. So let's see. Let's see if Morkel can make this work somehow on his, despite the budget cuts that have been introduced courtesy of 3 Harvester snipes. Yeah, it's looking really good for ILikeMen. ILikeMen preserving all his units there as well. Sending in another Yak, just, you know, just a little scouting information. How many Harvesters are we on? 3! Ooh, Morkel. If you don't make something happen within the next 2 or 3 minutes, you're dead. Because then you just get outscaled. I think it might be over already. He should build maybe an artillery, move out with his main base, but it's also risky. Like, at this juncture, I don't realistically see a comeback for Morkel. The cheeky engineer, not happening either. V2s are trying to lay siege to the base here. Ah, there's an expansion out. He's trying to reestablish it. I mean, he needs to do something. It's kind of a desperation, all eggs in one basket move. What is he building? Oh, mediums. Unsurprisingly so. Those V2s are a real boon here for ILikeMen. Can start sieging the base without actually getting in base defense range. Yak should always be with the V2s, should always be screening. Even I would not hate the transition, like the addition of 2 or 3 flak trucks, just to ward off any Black Hawk incursions. This flak truck is still sitting there. Oh! Okay, snipes one of the V2s. The MCV has moved out and has not been found out by the heavy tank just yet. Again, parked in the eco lines. Oh, Morkel realizes, fortunately. That's another racks down. Black Hawk is trying to frantically deal with the infantry, but it's getting so low. Ooh, this is also the only helipad. Oh, he was... I think he was trying to find the Black Hawk with the wounded flak truck there. It was a nice idea. Going for a flank as Morkel, it's been immediately revealed. The scouting from ILikeMen, like his scouting information has been so good. Oh, the helipad might be falling here. Zap time. Yeah, helipad down, no more way to rearm. This is now a 1,350 credits glorified scouting unit. That is tough. The artillery gets found out before it gets a shot into the infantry, and the Yak finds out about the maneuver south end side, even sending a rocket launcher in like V2 to deal with it. And here comes the punchline. This is again a 2-prong split push. The tank is coming back to raid the eco lines. Man, this is so nasty. GG being called. So that's the great equalizer. We are now on 2-2, and it's time for a deciding match. Hell yeah, bring it on.
Battle control terminated. Battle control initialized.
This match has been brought to you by our generous sponsors at OpenRA.com. Download now, use the coupon code 5ACES111 for a 50% discount on all in-game purchases. of which there are none. Anyway, this is gonna be match number 5, the deciding one, and it's a mirror match. It's the first time that ILikeMen has switched it up. He is now also, maybe he went random, I have no idea, but it's the first time he's playing allies this series. So let's see how this is gonna pan out. This is a map I haven't played ever. I didn't even know that was in the RAGL map pool. It's called 3.5 Woods. Well, certainly looks like 3.5 Woods. Double ref, I'd wager, because that's a 4 Derrick map. There is the only way you can make a War Factory rush work is with a super, well-crafted timing where you snipe the engineer and then push away the entire army. But that is difficult to achieve. Let's be real. It's gonna be a tricky one. It also looks to be kind of a cutthroat map because the middle is relatively open. There are lots of objectives to contest for. So it wouldn't be a surprising move to send all your forces into the middle. What would be more natural a line of play than just sending everything middle, building a big death ball, and then rolling over your opponent? Kind of lends itself to that type of gameplay in my opinion. ILikeMen, he's not using hotkeys is my opinion, because he's again behind, and this time it's a mirror match. Like his build times are kind of delayed compared to Morkel. It's only 5 seconds now, not as bad as it was with the kennel, but still. It stacks up. Yeah, see, he sits on the power plant for quite a bit. It's like 7 seconds now, not too bad. Not great, not terrible. But yeah, it's probably hotkey usage that sets the two apart here. And Morkel, yeah, has just established his base, established his oil derricks, and is now waiting for the death ball to stack up. He's always someone who goes for rockets earlier than the opposition. Maybe it's also courtesy of him expecting ILikeMen to be Soviets, because against an APC you want the rockets earlier. APC is the only vehicle that's just capable of bullying lots of rifles around. A light tank dies to 1 or 2 rockets, you don't need that much. But with an APC, this is serious business. So War Factory coming online now. It's like an 8-9 second discrepancy now. Ranger already out for Morkel. Ranger for ILikeMen is delayed. It's kind of the story of this series. Wait, he's just loaded up a regular rifle here? Huh. Because the pip is green, so it's definitely not an engineer. Interesting. Just to help him in a Ranger v Ranger fight, I guess? I have no idea what the intentions are here. Maybe even a rocket. Maybe a rocket to just pull the harvesters off the line. It can work. Especially if your opponent has just placed their base defenses. Alright, he sees that there is nothing much. Wow, with the engineer as well, leading the charge. That's enough to kill a pillbox. Oh! Oh, that's an interesting strategy here. Should have retargeted earlier though. Oh! With that burst. That was a nice attempt, but still. Okay. The harvester taking a lot of damage here. This might be a dead harvester. This is a dead harvester indeed. Light tank coming out, trying to save the day. Ooh, nasty. Medic falling. Okay, still 1 medic left. That's 0 power for ILikeMen. This was a well-crafted rush. Now on the rebound, I don't think there's anything much to do here on the rebound because Morkel is just prepared. Okay, what a well-crafted cheese build. I like that. 3 harvesters, no power. ILikeMen is struggling. Still has a 2 Derrick advantage now, but that's about it. That's just about it. Ooh, the Ranger is dangerously low as well. If only. Kills the healer. That's what we've learned from all those multiplayer games. Kill the healer. Kill the healer first. Alright, back to 4 harvesters, back to power, but he is in a state of disarray. He's far away from a service depot. ILikeMen is sternly on the back foot here in this. Are the wheels coming off this particular bus? Let's see. He still has enough infantry left here, but the first expansion already established for Morkel, plus he's got a refinery there already. It's looking so good for him. Ah, killing the light tank. Yep. Thank you, good sir. Now or never. Like, this would be the time for an early double war factory. Seriously. So, he's so far ahead now. Morkel has traded so well and has interrupted the tech timing by so much. My goodness, that medium tank. Soaking up all the damage, like nothing is going ILikeMen's way in Game 5 in this series. Nothing. Medium tank even survives. Oh my goodness, Morkel is playing his heart out here and absolutely smashing ILikeMen. Brutal. Like, he was forced into building what? 3 light tanks now? 4 light tanks? MCV now on the production queue, but yeah. How do you salvage this? The maximum amount of barracks is almost reached. Almost critical mass. He's trying to salvage it by playing 52 pickup with rockets. That's a good way of coming back, but he needs more. He needs... Oh, that crush! He definitely needs a lot more. Light tank dying again. The Ranger though, like the Ranger has provided a substantial amount of value. Killed 5 or 6 rockets now. Oof. I mean, his position is so constricted. Morkel has taken the entire map. He's got expansions out everywhere. His 3rd expansion has come online. His macro is impeccable this series. He's always had good macro, but this game in particular, just not making any mistakes, capitalizing off an early lead, and then immediately just littering the map with his refineries. Spreading his corona there. Man, ILikeMen, honestly, at that point, it would be time to tap out. This is realistically not winnable anymore. 6 mediums smashing into your base, the 7th just a bit behind. Ranger still there for line of sight support. That's as game over as it gets. Mediums now tackling the harvesters. 1 down. GG, well played. ILikeMen being a good sport about it. Damn, that was a savage series. Super close in skill level, I have to say. And Game 5 just being decided by a... I wouldn't even call that cheese. That was just a very well-crafted push timing. He had a push with an engineer, with the Ranger lined up, and it didn't get scouted. Like, he evaded all the rifle scouts. So really, really well played by both. Amazing series, especially Game 4 and 5 were impressive. So yeah, that's Morkel capitalizing, and he is gonna be the one to face off against GOAT in the finals, and ILikeMen is gonna be going mano a mano with Ganon. And that's probably gonna be next week's cast. We're gonna dedicate ourselves to the bronze match, and the week thereafter it's gonna be the finals. And after that, yeah, I'm gonna be releasing all the streams I did last week on YouTube as well for those who missed it, because they were a really good time. Yeah, great series. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time. 5 Aces out, and stay hyped for the RAGL finals.
Battle control terminated.